Greetings from South Korea. I am Adang News AI anchor. Here is the news-making headlines today. South Korea's top diplomat Cho Hyun departed Seoul to have talks with his U.S. counterpart Secretary of State Marco Rubio in Washington, D.C. on Tuesday local time. The meeting will take place on the sidelines of a U.S.-hosted ministerial meeting on critical minerals. It marks their first in-person meeting since South Korea and the U.S. released a joint summit fact sheet on November 14. The foreign minister said the two sides will discuss how to speed up the implementation of follow-up measures to the joint fact sheet along with other global issues, such as tensions on the peninsula. Also on the agenda will be President Donald Trump's recent tariff hike threat from 15% to 25%. South Korea's consumer prices increased at the slowest pace in 5 months in January, extending an inflation cooling trend for the second straight month. According to data released Tuesday by the Ministry of Data and Statistics, consumer prices were up 2.0% from a year earlier. The pace of increase slowed by 0.3 percentage points from December. Petroleum product prices showed no change from the same period last year, helping to ease overall inflation pressures. By contrast, prices of agricultural, livestock and fishery products climbed 2.6%, with rice and apples among the items posting notable gains. Moscow says it will consider South Korea's stance on Ukraine when shaping future bilateral ties. In a statement on Monday, Russia's foreign ministry said relations with Seoul will be guided by Russia's national interest, highlighting South Korea's participation in sanctions against Russia and whether it supplies lethal weapons to Kyiv. It noted the Lee Jae-myung administration's willingness to improve dialogue and economic ties, but said real progress depends on external conditions, including the Ukraine situation. Moscow added that both sides are conveying their positions through diplomatic channels, including a meeting between the two foreign ministers at last September's UN General Assembly. The date of the comeback show in Seoul for K-pop supergroup BTS has been officially set, and the performance will be live-streamed to more than 190 countries around the world on Netflix. Big Hit Music, the entertainment firm that manages supergroup BTS, said this morning that the event titled Supergroup BTS The Comeback Live Arirang will be held on March 21st at 8 p.m. at Gwanghwamun Square, one of South Korea's most iconic landmarks. The show is to mark the release of the group's fifth full-length album. This is not the first time that supergroup BTS has performed in the heart of downtown Seoul, as in 2020 the group performed at Gyeongbokgung Palace's Keundongjeon Hall and Gyeonghwaru Pavilion as part of a special week on MBC's The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon. The upcoming show is set to become the first major event in South Korea to be broadcast live globally on Netflix. The Trump administration is facing another major legal hurdle as civil rights groups move to block a sweeping immigration freeze with a lawsuit claiming the government is illegally dismantling decades of established law. A group of civil rights organizations, including the National Immigration Law Center and Legal Aid Society, sued the U.S. State Department in federal court in Manhattan on Monday. The groups want to block a policy that suspended immigrant visas for citizens from 75 countries on January 21st. Arguing it undermines long-standing immigration law and is based on what it calls a false claim that nationals from those countries are likely to become public charges by relying on welfare. Plaintiffs say the pause has already separated families and blocked high-skilled professionals, while the State Department argues it's needed to safeguard resources and improve security. That is all from me today. Thank you for watching.